Hello and welcome to stage 1 in the photographer website. This is project 3 in your Dreamweaver textbook. You can download the graphic files for this tutorial on the Against the Clock website, and it's a folder named Crow. Once you do that, open up Dreamweaver and go to Manage Sites, and we can set up a new site called Photography. Make sure you select the correct root folder where your site files are. So here's my Crow files. I'm going to choose that. And I am going to cancel out since I've already done that here. And I'm going to click Done. And you can see that all my files are uploaded for the photography website. Then open the index.html page, which you have in view here. And it's basically a template that's already been set up for you. We can go to the code split view to take a look at what's happening. When I highlight the placeholder text, you can see that there is a header section. I'm in live view. And then there is a tagline section. And then there are 3 areas here with a class called Square Link and an ID, and we'll talk more about that later. There's the About section, Calendar, and Gallery, and then we look up here to the right and we've got 3 hyperlink tags for our home page, blog, and a press page. And you can see the Ahref tag in the code. I'm going to get out of split view now and go back to live view. And I'm actually going to switch now to design view. And when I do that, you can see some of the framework showing. And make sure you have your files panel open. And we are going to insert 3 images into these sections. And we're going to look at 3 different ways to do that. The first way, in design view, I'm going to go back to my split view so I can see the code and highlight the placeholder text here that says insert image here. And I'm just going to delete that, and when I do, I can see in code that there is a new code here that's this ampersand MBSP, and that's just telling me that it's a non-breaking space. Now I can go to my Files panel and look in my Images folder, so expand that if you don't have it open. And I'm going to look for this windmill JPEG image and select it. Then I can just hold down my mouse and drag that to my cursor here where that placeholder text is. And then we can look at the code. Now it's given a code of IMG SRC, and that IMG is just telling me it's an image, and the SRC code is telling me where the image file is located. And I can see here this windmill JPEG is located in the images folder. It's also telling me the width and the height in pixels. And then there's an ALT code for alt text, and I can go into my properties panel and see where the ALT section is, and I want to input some text for the alt text, and the reason for that is if the image does not show up in the browser or it's disabled, the alt text will show up. It's also helpful for screen readers so they can read the alt text. I'm going to place in here the About Us link for my alt text, and then go back to my image, and now I can see that is incorporated into the code. So this IMG code here is a tag selector. let's go to the middle panel now where it says calendar. I'm going to highlight that placeholder text and also delete that. I can go to my insert image panel and I can select the file from here. So I'm going to select the image called chain and then open it, and it's placed here. For my third image, I'm going to switch to live view and select that insert image here text, delete that as well. And then you can see my P for paragraph. I'm going to click on that and go to my insert panel and select image and then select nest. So that's where I want to place my image. And I can select this wheel image here and open it up there, and then you can see in live view it's telling me, it's giving me that image IMG tag selector. And you could also, if I delete that and click out of there, I could also go to that image in my files panel and drag and place it. Let me go back to, go back to design view. Click out here. I can also drag and place it that way. So there's some different ways that we can insert our images. When you use the insert panel, make sure that you're in HTML when you select that image. And then I want to go back and make sure that I add the alt text for each image. So I'm going to input calendar link here. And then for the third one, call that gallery. In my alt text. Now I want to insert the logo in the header area, and I want to use my assets panel. So if you don't see that, you can go to Window Assets to open up that panel. So within that panel, I want to click the Images button to make sure that it shows all of my images, and then I can refresh it here just to make sure everything's updated. I want to select the Crow photography. This is reading copy, but I'm just going to edit that. For some reason it's not letting me, probably I may have changed the folder placement. So for now I'm just going to select where, for you it'll just say Crow photography. On mine it says copy, but it's a PNG file. And then I want to select the insert logo here, text. I'm going to delete that placeholder text and then go back to my assets panel and click on insert. And now you can see it's inserted that Crow photography PNG. And if you are given the option, go ahead and select Nest. And then you can resize and resample the logo. So it looks like mine is already resized and resampled here, but when you do that, you want to turn off the live view. So I'm in design view here. You can select the logo. And then in the properties panel, make sure that the width and the height is locked so that you can keep it in proportion. And actually I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So in width, I'm going to type in 550 pixels and then just hit return so that it's kept proportional here. And let's just take a look at right to the right of the width and height, there's a reset to original size option. And so if you click on that, it'll go back to the original size. So I'm going to undo that. And then there's a commit image size that's going to finalize the resizing of that image. So before we commit it though, that's where I want to go back to my assets panel. And you want to make a copy of the original logo so that you can retain the larger size of that image, and then for your copy you can rename it as small so that you have two different versions, the original size and then the smaller size. So once you've resized the logo there, then you want to go to your Files panel and select the original image. So my original Crow Photography PNG here, you can go to Control right click and then duplicate under Edit, just duplicate that file, and that's when it makes a copy, and then you can rename the original file. You want to select the original file and change the name with the addition of the small text. So mine is already done, but you can see here I have the original text, which mine is named copy, and then you can see here the small size PNG. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete that additional copy that I made. I don't need that. And then I can see back in my assets panel that I've changed that to the name of the small one. And then once I resized that and renamed it, made the copy and renamed it, I want to go ahead and commit that image size by clicking on the check mark. Click on OK, and you want to update that if it asks you to update. So now I've placed 3 images into my site, and I've added a logo and resized it and resampled it. And you can stay with me in the next video as we go through stage 2.